Crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to part 9 of the Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp. In this video, we're going to decorate a mini pizza box. No, mini pizza box. Gosh, how did I forget the name of it already? Mini pizza box using a technique called masking, where we just get one of the butterflies from our Butterfly Brilliance set. I just have an eraser there to prop it up. And I'm going to show you how to make this diaper fold treat pouch that you can put tea in, or you could put a Ghirardelli chocolate in there, or you could just put a nice little note or a tag. I mean, whatever you want to put in there. Whatever will fit in there. But that's what we're going to make, the diaper fold treat pouch. So you're going to be using, if you have one of the kits from the Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp, you are going to use the Boho Indigo. It is retired paper, but I gave it to you in your kit, and I wanted to show you some things you can do with that DSP. All right, so let's get started. I'm just clearing off my Stamparatus. So you need your Stamparatus, and I'm going to kind of go over the technique. Don't mind that. Don't mind my little mess there. It's not going to affect anything. And I already have my sentiments stamped already too, just to make things easier. So what I want to do is, and by the way, those little things came in your kit too. I gave you some little extra crafty goodness, so that's where I got those from. Those little leaves from the, okay, so here's the concept of masking, because I promised to show this technique in this course. So in this series, in this series. See this? Here's our stamp. Now some people say, oh, I'm going to buy 2 stamps. Like they bought an extra stamp from Stampin Up, just so they could single out the butterflies. Well, that's not necessary. You can use masking. Okay, you can use masking. You can use advanced masking, like I teach in my scan and cut courses, where you cut out the exact shapes of these. But I'm going to show you a way better technique. We don't need the scan and cut any time in this entire series. We're not using the scan and cut in this series. This is the concept. We're going to mask off the others, and we're going to ink up the one we want, and we're going to put it on the pizza box, and on the front of the pizza box, which we'll also mask off, and then we'll do some stenciling. Okay, it'll be a fun technique. Now I'm just going to reuse. Well, let's see. Now I'll reuse those later. I think I might just reuse the tape I did earlier. Right? Reuse some of my tape, so I don't have to use it all, like, so I don't have to start from scratch. I'm not going to reuse all my tape, but like there's no sense in not reusing your tape, because I always tell you, do a lot of cards, do a lot of projects at once when you make something. Okay, so we're masking off the others like that. Now I'll use some new tape up here. I'm just reusing this piece of tape. So we want to get some, we need painter's tape or something that's going to be easily removed. Yeah, you can get it off easy. So I like this thick stuff, the thick painter's tape, because really it's great, because it's so wide that you're going to definitely not get any ink in there. Okay, so you need to do something like that. And you're just doing it at angles, you see, just like this. And there's a little piece there that needs another one. See that little piece in the corner? So you can also take your smaller painter's tape, right, and just use some of that as well. So something like that. Okay, that's all I need to do. But over here, I tend to, if I push down on my Stamparatus, I end up getting a little bit of ink sometimes. So we'll put it there too. On the corners of your rubber stamps, you might get that too. All right, that's the concept. It was recommended that you get Misty Moonlight ink. So let's take our Misty Moonlight ink. And mine's already been inked up because I was using it earlier. And I didn't want to do too many of these, because I only have, let's see, 1 or 2 I have a couple pizza boxes left. They kind of belong in the kits, but I took one out of the kit, and then I'm left with like this pizza box. So I didn't want to do too many of these ahead of time. And I did this one, but I actually ended up doing it. Like the pizza box actually opens this way, which is no problem. But I ended up putting the butterfly on that way because I wasn't really paying attention. But it doesn't matter. It still looks cute, because people don't know how the pizza box is supposed to open. I covered it with a leaf. And you can put all kinds of treats in there, and ribbon and all kinds of crafty goodness. I didn't get that far. I'll do in the conclusion of this series. I'll show you maybe what I put in that box, if I still have it. Conclusion will be next, I think. All right, so Misty Moonlight, you're going to open up your stamp, and you're going to open up your stamp pad, and you're going to flip it around like that, and you're going to ink up. You want to ink it up real good. Now, Okay, we're good. And it's real juicy and it's real good. Now, on your pizza box, okay, like I said, I did it wrong the other way. I think I did it. We want to make sure it's like this is the front of the pizza box. So when we go down like this, right, it should be up. This should be the top. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to just test it. I'm not going to lower it. I'm just going to sort of test where it goes. Then I'm going to tape it down. Okay, let's put a piece of tape where it goes. There's put a little piece of tape on the. I'm just going to put a piece of tape there so I can see it. Okay, and it needs to go over some more. Over some more. I probably shouldn't have covered up so much. There we go. See how the tape is there? It's just kind of helping me see where this box will go. All right, so the box will sort of go there. And it doesn't matter if I don't get the whole butterfly on there. And let's see, that's the bottom of the box. I mean, good enough, right? So now what I want to do is take some tape and just sort of tape my box down. Not just so I don't get extra ink on it, but also just so it doesn't move. Okay, I already have tape for all this. I was masking off this part because I was planning on coloring the box lid, but I'm not going to color the box lid now. I was going to do some blending on the box lid. Instead, I'm going to do it a different way. I came up with a stenciling idea instead with another product you got in your kit. So that's why. I just wanted you to use up a lot of things from your kits and get to feel like you know what to do with everything that came in your kit. And of course, there's plenty of supplies to make extra cards as well. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. So I'm masking off this. So this is masking when you just mask off the part you don't want. And this is also masking. All right, because I haven't done any inking in a minute, you might want to huff on it, right? Huff. That's when you blow on it. You exhale onto it, right? To make it a little moist. Or I could re-ink it again, but I mean, how many times does one need to re-ink it, right? You got to take off your mask before you stamp. Don't forget to do that. And we're going to stamp. Okay? And hopefully it lands right on the top of the box. Or good, close enough. It looks like it's not quite. Just move it over a little bit. You don't want this to move. You want this to be in the right spot. Once you do it, though, you're going to keep putting it in the right spot. So let's do this. Let's kind of aim for there. Okay, I'm going to go like that. Okay? Making sure it was in there. Now, I'm going to push down a lot. I'm going to push down. You can re-ink and do it again, but I found it was just kind of, I think it was good enough. Let's see. So many things might be coming to your mind, like wouldn't stamping spots be great for this? I gave you an uninked stamping spot. So yes, if you have a stamping spot, the little tiny square stamping spots, or you can use a refiller and you can just, you have more precise. Okay, good. It does need a little more ink though. We're going to put the mask back on to do this. That's where I said it's reusable. So the stamping spots are going to be more precise, and you could just ink the parts you want. I don't have any Misty Moonlight stamping spots on me at the moment. I don't have them here with me when I'm traveling. So I am not going to do it that way. I'm just doing it this way. This is just like old school stamping. Like this is the way I always used to do it prior to scan and cuts, right? Scan and cuts let me make Mylar masks that are precise the way I want them, and I have Mylar mask, and I don't think I brought them with me. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of putting my mask back over there just for a second, just to re-ink it. Okay, so I need to re-ink it like that. I'm not going to do it a third time because we don't want to. You don't want to push good fate, right? I don't want to push it. So, but keep reusing your mask again. I'm just getting that little part off in the corner. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lower it. Or don't tempt fate, right? We say. We don't want to mess it up. But if you do mess it up, that's what embellishments are for. That's what sentiments are for. That's what all these little leaves are for if you mess it up and get extra ink on there. Okay, see, that part's messed up. That part I can just fix maybe with the stamp, though, without having to put my mask back on. Or my blending brush. So that is on that side, because it's the far side. No, but I'm going to have to use my mask. All right, I said don't tempt fate. Let's leave it be, and let's do it this way. So you could do it this way. There's an easier way to kind of just do a little touch-up. And that would be using the blender, this little blender pen that you have, and we talked about blender pen, coloring your butterflies with the blender pen in this course. So let's put some, can you guys see that? So let's put some ink over here, just on those little lines. I'm hoping that touches it up. I think I'm just missing this part. I don't know. But I can also color those in a little bit later too. I don't know. I'm not really sure what part exactly I'm missing. It looks like the top corner though. In there. I was in the right area. And this is when the Stampin' Spot would be great. I would just get in there with your sponge dauber, the little finger sponge dauber, dip into the ink and dip over here. I just also can't find that right now, but there's so many techniques. I'll be showing more techniques in my next course. And I also have my Ink It Up series on YouTube, so you will get to see me do other techniques. And if I missed anything I meant to cover, I'll cover it in my Ink It Up series using other similar stamp sets. Because I'm about to go embark on a next journey, which is another die and stamp set. Okay, I'm happy with that. I really am. I'm happy with that because we're going to be doing some more inking on it, and we can also color it in with our little, blender, right? We're going to be doing some coloring it in anyway, so it really doesn't matter. All right, good. But that's what I wanted to show you. Now go ahead and take this off. Right, put that somewhere so you don't get any ink around you. So what I want to show you now is sort of a stenciling technique. So you all get this in your kit, or actually I forgot to put them in every kit, so then I sent them later. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. This is a piece of lattice. It's in our annual catalog. You can get 10. You get 10 lattice. They make great card backgrounds, and they also just make great stencils. So go ahead and put that on there. Tape it down. Your piece of lattice. I mailed it out later. If you didn't get your lattice, let me know. But I had, some of them, I forgot to put them in the earlier kits, and then I mailed you all the lattice later. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our crumb cake. We just want to put some lines for texture. Now, I was going for a translucent look. So you may be wondering why I did it this way, and there's no right or wrong way. I always talk about that in crafting. There's no right or wrong way. I wanted to go for a translucent look. I wanted this butterfly to look like you can see through it, that it's semi-translucent, and that the lattice is in the background. So that's why I'm doing it this way. I'm actually going to stencil right through the butterfly. If I wanted to, though, you have your scan and cut, or you just have scissors. You cut out your butterfly, right? If you don't want this little lines to be in the butterfly, cut out your butterfly, put your butterfly mask on there, cover your butterfly, and then just get the background to, just color in the background. That's fine, too. So it's up to you. There's no right or wrong way to do this, but I'm just teaching you a technique. So you're going to open up the crumb cake. This is crumb cake ink. Any kind of light ink will do. Any sort of neutral color. Now this Boho Indigo medley had some vanilla in it, so I was trying to go for the age look. And what I like to do before I use my blender brush, which is also one of your surprises in your kits, this blender brush, I like to put the ink on a stamping block. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and make sure if there's big blobs of ink, then I can go ahead and get rid of them on that tape. Okay, and now I'm just blending the backgrounds. I'm going to blend right through the butterfly too. See? We're going to color them again a little bit bluer later, but I'm going to go ahead and do the whole background. Okay, back and forth. I'm just stenciling with some crumb cake is all I'm doing. Adding texture and dimension. And these may remind you of the decorative mask we used earlier in the series. All right, good enough, I think. Now we're going to add some more blue to the inside. So just test it before you remove the second piece of tape. Test it to make sure you get the look you want. And that's the look I want. Okay, I'm going for that look. So now we're going to take off that tape. So now I'm going to take my blender pen, and I'm going to take my blender pen and some Misty Moonlight, and then I'm going to take my blender pen and some use the same blender pen. First Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to color in the butterfly, the parts that, say maybe like the middle. Like I said, I'm going for that translucent look, so I'm going to color it in with the Misty Moonlight, but it's when you use the blender pen, it's like you're using a lighter version, a lighter hue of the same color. So instead of inking it up straight, if you were to try to use blends markers, they're called alcohol blends, they get like all over, they get like dark, I mean not all over. But when you use a blender pen, you can go for it makes things lighter, semi-translucent, like I'm going for. So I just did this and some Pool Party. I did Pool Party around the edges because I wanted the edges to be lighter. All right, so like that. All right, cool. And now, so the way you clean off a blender pen, by the way, is just to color with it. See? That's how you kind of clean it off. But I'm going to use Pool Party next, so I don't really need to clean it off. But that's how you clean it off. There's like this magical solution inside here. And it just sort of blends your inks together. I just love blender pens. Don't worry that yours get stained a dark color because they get stained, but you can just clean them off. But now I'm opening Pool Party, and I'm just going for it. I'm just dipping right into the ink. Or again, you could do the stamping block thing I showed you, where you dip into this and then use the blender pen. So it's up to you, but I don't care if it gets dark on this because Pool Party is still lighter than the Misty Moonlight. So I don't care if it's like a little darker. I hope I didn't do my butterfly sideways again. I hope I did. Oh yeah, it just looked like the top of the, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's the right side. Because earlier I did it sideways. All right, so there we go. And oops, colored outside the lines there, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm going for the translucent look. So I'm going to fill in that little part so it's not so messed up. And I'm going to do that to the other side now. And then I'm going to use Wink of Stella. The Wink of Stella is going to help me make it sort of glassy, translucent butterfly. Wink of Stella is just a glitter pen. Okay, I'm done with the Pool Party. Okay, let's look at this. See how it's a little shiny? I'm going for that with the glitter. See? I don't care that it smears my ink. It kind of makes it kind of is cool to smear your ink because it helps me with that translucent look. But if you want the Wink of Stella not to smear, then let the ink dry underneath first before you apply the Wink of Stella. All right, if you do any more techniques with the edging, you want to keep the tape on. If you're going to be doing like another color around the outside, like you're going to get a sponge dauber and you're going to daub around, then keep this tape on until you're done. But I'm done with that. I was only protecting the edges of the box from that stencil. That's all I was protecting it from. And it looks like, see how it got a little blurry over there? I'm just going to go ahead and make my, here. I'm going to go with it because I colored outside the lines. I'm going to go ahead and make a little shadow on that side. See, I'll do it on purpose, meaning because I smeared it, go ahead and make a little, when you smear it, embrace it. Make it look like you did it on purpose, right? There we go. All right, so that's what I wanted to do. That's what I was going for. Every time you try this, it'll be a little different. I'm going to pick up this. Yay, I didn't do it sideways. It's top of the box. And of course, you're using the painter's tape because the painter's tape is, and reuse it again. Make sure I wipe off my hands here. It is not going to rip your box. Okay, so you can add bling, you can add your embellishments, right? Anything you want to this. So we're going to just going to add these little pieces of those Boho Indigo paper because in the color, the colors in there, Misty Moonlight, I think Night of Navy and Very Vanilla. So you got, I think I gave you each 6 sheets of this. So it's enough to do our diaper folds and our little, and this, it would matter which way the pattern goes. I mean, if it mattered, you'd check on that, but it doesn't matter for our intents and purposes. I'll show you how to cut that in a moment. I'm just going to do this side, and then I'll show you how to cut that, because I don't like to leave anything out, because you also have a mini pizza box. So you take your mini pizza box, and I hope you're decorating it with whatever, and you can use your pattern party. Use whatever paper you want to decorate your mini pizza box. These are retired. I was very upset when these retired, but we still have mini paper pumpkin boxes, which are pretty cool too. So let's go ahead and show you how to assemble that. So this little pieces come off, and you go like that and like that. So of course you're scoring along all the lines first. Then you're going to score along this line, and you're going to score along that line and score down, or right? Okay, so that's how you assemble the box, and you're going to go like this. Push the sides in, like that, and then you're going to hear a click. You're going to go like this, and you're going to hear a click. Hear that little click sound? That's how you get the box to stay together. It's food safe. That's why it's shiny inside. You can put a nice cookie inside there. And voila, that's how you decorate your box. Now we're going to just take our trimmer, and we're going to get another little piece. Okay, we're going to use one of these we'll use one of this or 2 of these. We'll do a couple of diaper folds. Let's use this one. This will be nice on the side of the box. So get your trimmer. And of course, if you've been watching my scan and cut videos, you know that we just cut this with the scan and cut. But we can do old school. We can cut it with a trimmer, no problem. And to cut this with a trimmer, let's see, if you want the pattern to be, I want this pattern to go like this, like up and down, that wiggle pattern. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it. I'll do the length first. I'll do 3, and you don't want to do 3.5, right? You don't want to do 3.5 because that's too long. So actually, technically, it's like 3.45. So there's 3.5. That's the 3.5 mark. So you're gonna go to the 3.5 mark, and then you're gonna go back like 1/8 of an inch, only because or 1/16 of an inch. Sorry, a 1/16 of an inch, right? Because it's broken into 1/16 of an inch. And that'll give us just, it'll be almost like 3.45, right? It'll be just like the little bit less than 3.45 across. And then those are easy. And then you're going to do this as 1 inch. So we need a couple of these for your pizza boxes. So you're going to make them each 1 inch by about 3.45. And go ahead and cut it with your skin and cut if you want, or just use your trimmer. No big deal. Now you're going to take your Stampin', your Seal Plus, your tear and tape, or just your glue. It doesn't matter what you take. And you're going to put your adhesive on it. I put a little bit of extra adhesive on the end so it doesn't come off, but just one strip down the middle, a little bit extra on the ends, and you're going to put that on there. And so that's why I was using the crumb cake, to try to kind of make this go with that vanilla. See how that's vanilla and not basic white? That's why I was trying to go for that aged look. That's why I was using the crumb cake. But you know, you don't have to do that. Okay. A little bit extra on the ends, and we're going to decorate the back. So you want to put 4 pieces of designer series paper around your box, like so. And then if you want, you're just going to take your bucket of crafty goodness that you got, and you just decorate some extra. See, this has the gold in it, it's a little bling. Take some extra. This goes with the Boho Indigo theme, and just add those to your box if you want. You don't have to add them to your box. You might think they don't go there, but I think I need smaller ones. Let's see. That would work. I don't want to block his antenna too much. Maybe antennae. Okay, that'll work. And I want to put one over there. See if I can find a smaller one. This might work. Okay. So I like to do things in 3s. This might actually work too. This little thin one might work a little better. Yeah, something like that. All right, so I'll decide. By the time I glue it on there, I'll decide which one I want. So you're going to now take your dimensionals, Stampin' dimensionals, and you're just going to go for it, but you don't have to use these. Like I said, you might want to just let your lattice shine. You don't need to maybe put these on there. And I didn't even put a sentiment on it. I didn't think it needed a sentiment. Okay, I'm going to decide whether I want that one or this one. That one looks too much like that one. I might do this big fern. Now you don't all have the same ones in your packet. I just gave you a few of each. I didn't give you the same ones. Something like that. I think I'm going to turn this guy around. The stems are all going in the right direction, right? The same direction. That's how I'm going to do it. You know, like these form a little wreath, right? They're like going around. All right, and then you could just do whatever. And you could just do, the inside would be 3.45 by 3.45, or 3, on the top is 3.4 inches by 3.4, or just do 3.5. And what I mean by that is just, you're going to take your piece, and this should already be the one length should already be measured. It's already 3.4. Yeah, this one's already done, 3.45. So now let's go ahead and do this side, 3.45. See what I mean? And you can just make these little pieces, you can put them in your box. Isn't that cool? So you can really jazz up your box. And I put a little bit of adhesive behind them. And you can put them here, or you could put them up in here. And then you can fill your box with all kinds of fun treats. Tea, like we're using next. Okay, does that make sense? That's how to do it. That's how to mask. That's how to make your butterfly look translucent. That's how to use the stencils. That's how to decorate your mini pizza box. So we've accomplished a lot just in that little bit of time. And now I want to show you. Yes, you can use your, so I already have questions and I want to say hi. So yes, hello Teresa. Hello Bpre. Yvonne. The blue and green are gorgeous together. I'm glad you like that. That came in the Boho, it's retired now, but this was the Boho Indigo product medley. I have another one. I hate when things retire, I really do. But they came with all these really cool papers, and it came with embossed vanilla, berry vanilla. And it came with all these cool little things in there. So that's why they go well together. It came in this kit. So that's why I think the colors went well together. I mean, I didn't think so. The artist thought so. And look at this pattern goes well with that whole Boho Indigo theme. Okay, and the Misty Moonlight's one of the colors I recommended, so I was happy that matched with what I was recommending. Okay, hello Joanne. Hello Carol. And Yvonne saying, could you use the Stampin' Right markers for coloring? Oh yes, so you don't have to mask, absolutely. I just don't have them with me. That's a great reason to use your Stampin' Right markers. So you just color, they are the same consistency as your ink. So the Stampin' Right markers come in a set. It's one of the items you're allowed to get as your half price item if you have a big order or you host a party. Stampin' Right markers, they come in a set. You can get them in sets of 5 if they're in colors. You can get them in sets of 10 in the color collections, or you can buy all 60 at once. You can color this with the marker. That will work. I just find that markers don't give me even coverage, and by the time I'm done coloring, you have to use the huff. Right? You're going to have to huff because this part will be dry by the time you color that part. By the time you start coloring here and you get over there, this part's dry. Not dry, but kind of dry. But you can definitely use your markers to fill in. I would definitely use your markers to fill in. This just gives me more even coverage. And so do Stampin' Spots, right? Than the markers. But you can definitely use markers. And what's cool about markers is, remember we did the blending earlier in this course with the different markers. You could totally blend better. You can color it with make not lots of colors on one butterfly. So that's kind of cool. So yes, definitely try that. All right, I'll say hi to more later. I'm going to get into this now. We're going to take your Simply Scored. This is just a surface to work. All this is. You should get something where you can push against the corner, right? And I like my Simply Scored for that reason. So you're going to take a piece of this paper, and you're going to take a spatula, any spatula, straight edge or bone folder. You can use a bone folder like this. Oh, by the way, let me close I have to do this. I have to close my ink. Because if I don't close my ink, I can start getting ink all over everything. So we're going to just go ahead and what you want to do is use the corner of it. You're going to take any 6x6 piece of paper to make this diaper fold. But really, you can make diaper folds that are larger. I taught my niece and nephew to do it. You can use any square. So you can do this with any size square. But I like doing it with 6x6 squares. Well, this paper is already perfect. It's already 6x6. So all I'm doing is making a triangle. That's it. And by the way, in case you just tuned in, this is what we're making. Well, I amuse myself sometimes. It was what we were making. There was a diaper fold. Here we go. This is what we're making. Got to put something there for you to look at. Okay, so this is what we're making. This little diaper fold treat pouch, right? That holds tea or a Ghirardelli chocolate. So you want to get that triangle. Once you get the triangle, you're going to take it and you're just going to turn the triangle and you're going to point the triangle up. So that's all we did. Now the part you want to show, like this part here, this is what we want to show. So therefore, that part is what's on the outside, right? The part, you're only going to show this part a little bit. This part's going to mainly show, so that's what you want to put on the outside. Now you want to fold over to the left, and you want to fold over to the right. Now, you want to do a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle before you start pinching it and fixing it. So we'll do it again in a minute so you get a better angle. I'm going to take this top flap and I'm going to flap it down, or flop it, whatever, bend it down. Okay, so over, and this is going to bend down. This is what it's going to look like. That's all the diaper fold is. It's very easy, but there's tricks to it. And one trick is I want this piece to go under a little bit and be hidden, right? That little flap, I want it to be hidden. So I want to wiggle, I want to get that under there, flush, right? And I want to wiggle everything so that nothing's sticking out and that it's even before I do the pinch. And the pinch is, you're just going to pinch the sides. You're going to find yourself making like these. You're going to be making like 100 of these. They're so easy to make. So there you go. You're going to pinch the sides. And now I'm going to use my spatula. Oop, get under there. And now I'm going to use my spatula to get it to be straight. When you're using foiled paper, be careful your foil, with your foiled paper, because you're foiling. You could rub your foil off if you get too hard with the spatula. That is a diaper fold pouch. So now I'm going to open it back up. And I'm just going to take this is just to make it stay together. Stampin' Seal Plus, a little bit of line of adhesive, right? Right, and a little bit of more adhesive, right there. And then a little bit, oops, it already disappeared, there we go. And then a little bit of adhesive right there to get that flap to stay. So now we're going to decorate it. Now you all have a piece of, you didn't get maybe a giant piece of Misty Moonlight, but you had enough to make butterflies out of it. And here's a butterfly I sort of just cut from one of my envelopes in the last paper pumpkin kit. And you can just sort of put that in there. And I have these this is a really cool new stamp set. And it's going to be available to customers. It's already available to Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, but to customers, it's going to be one of the free things you can earn August 3rd. With host orders, like host, it's going to be with any $300 order you can earn this. I'm going to have it in my host code drawings all the time for my customers. I will get a bunch of these and have them in my drawings. Every time I place an order, I'm going to get this stamp set and make sure I give it out as prizes. But you can also get it for free with a host order. If you want to host a party, like an online party or something, and you have $300 in sales, then this stamp set's free. I love this. This is for sympathy cards. And I just love this one here for just these cute little treats. Hope your day is fantabulistic. So we're just going to put that on there. And I did it in Very Vanilla. And I did it earlier in Very Vanilla. And then I put in Misty Moonlight. Look at that color matching, right? Misty Moonlight. And then I cut it out with these dies that I have. But you could have just cut it out with any shape. This is just little, I think, Hippo and Friends dies or something like that. I'm going to add that. And of course it is Butterfly Brilliance. So we put butterflies on everything, don't we? Right? That's what we do. We even put some Wink Stella on everything. You've seen me put Wink Stella on everything. You've seen me put butterflies on everything. Because butterflies make everything better. And then we could put that little bling. On this kind of butterfly, I just like to put the glue on the middle part. So again, that was from my envelope from my paper pumpkin kit. Because I didn't want to mess up a piece of Misty Moonlight, just to show you. But that is Misty Moonlight color. And then we can put some of this little bling on there if you want. Okay, so we'll put some of that on there. Put a little dimensional for that one. And I got to look at my other one to see what I did. I'm going to make the little leaf stick out a little bit, see? Okay, let's see what I did for the other one. I put 2 on there. Okay, I put 2 because I like to do embellishments in 3s. So I put 2 of the leaves. Oops, be careful, that has to dry, right? 2 of the leaves and then 1 of the butterflies. That would be 3 altogether. So you can put that there. Dimensional. Here, actually, I'll make it go like that. Because I don't want to, I think that's, here. I want it to kind of match. Okay, and then you're going to take your little T, and I just use in Harney and Sons, but I like this because it has some cool colors that match things in my projects. Like, look at these different things. I think they match different ways. So we have Earl Grey. That one doesn't really match, but it is Pool Party. I have different kinds of this. This one's kind of cool. English breakfast tea. That would be too stark, but you know what I'm saying. That would match probably. That's more of like a sky blue, but I think that one would look okay. Japanese. And then this one is Egyptian chamomile tea. Just seeing if I have any other ones. I have this kind of tea. Let's see how that would look. Mean squeeze herbal tea. No. Too bright. I have this kind of green tea. Too bright. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with this jasmine tea for that sort of rustic look. Japanese. No, not jasmine. Japanese Sinja tea. Here we go. And I can make another one, and all I got to do make another one, and I can put my big butterfly on it, right? You don't even have to have a sentiment on it. Just stick a big butterfly and put it on there. So let's make another one real quick, and then I'll show you what we made. I don't know if I did at the beginning of this video show you what we made in the last video, but I usually try to. And if not, I will. And I will definitely be showing those in the conclusion again. So let's go. We're going to make it. So what I like to do after I teach you a 3D craft is I like to take, you know, the same thing and just show you how quick it is to really make it. Right? So how fast it is to make it. So I'm just going to take the 6x6 paper and I'm going to push it up against the corner. I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to go like that. Okay? Now I get a perfect triangle. Okay? Because the pattern I want's on the outside. We're going to take it, we're going to fold it to the left and fold it to the right. And we're going to do we're going to jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. We're going to fold this part down and we're going to jiggle it till, oh, that reminds me of the Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper, doesn't it? We're going to jiggle it until that part's kind of hidden under there. And we're going to push. And that's what I call my pinch, pinching in the sides. So if yours don't look like that, it just means you need more practice, and it's no big deal. You still should give them out. Don't ever trash your crafts. Just fix them up as much as you can and give them out, because you improve, right? You improve by making more of something. Yeah, so this is a great little gift, and just, you know, I just put these, you can actually put these in the mail, but if you do put them in the mail, I recommend taking this out, because then it gets too thick and they make you pay like 20 cents extra postage. Like take that out and kind of put these in the mail together, like next to each other. But you don't try to put the Ghirardelli chocolate in the mail. One of my team members did that, and she's like, I don't know why it cost me, did I put $3.50 to send you something? And I'm like, you put chocolate in the mail. She was really just sending me one of these on a card, like she put it on the front of a card. Well, what happened is it became a package, right? So when you put this in there, when you put the Ghirardelli in there, the post office says that's too big to even fit through with the extra 20 cents, and they call it a package. And then you got to pay like the lowest first class price, which is like $3.46 or something. And if they would have used a tea bag or nothing, just made me a cute pouch without the chocolate in it, it would have been 55 cents to mail, right? Without the chocolate or tea. Anyway, I love the thought. It was the thought that counts, right? I'm happy about that. So that's how quick it is to make those. This was something, by the way, from this set, but it's not something I'd put on there because it's not a card. But isn't that a cool sentiment? Hope this card makes you smile. I'm just going to keep using these fabulistic. Hope your day is fabulistic. But we could put that there, and we could put like another. I'm just thinking, you know. I'm thinking of other ways to do it, maybe. That's copper. So I might not, if I'm going to use the copper, which is fine, I can use the copper. But then I wouldn't use these little gold pieces because they would be, so I'm going to see if I can find another gold butterfly, because these have gold in it. These pieces have gold in it. So I don't know if I have, okay, there's a gold butterfly. Or I have a vanilla butterfly. That might work. Here's a vanilla butterfly. That's kind of cool. Yeah, a very vanilla butterfly. I always, as you can see, I just sort of make up things as I go along. I just figure it out as I go. There's no right or wrong way to do things. Just kind of. I'm just going to put that there. Put one of those there. I'm going to kind of shove it under there a little bit, just so you can kind of get it under the leaf a little, so that the leaf kind of sticks up there. And I'm going to put some Wink of Stella. Of course, Wink of Stella on here for some bling. And then a little bit of, you could put glue or you could put, a mini dimensional. It's up to you. I was trying to get it to be sort of 3D, but it's kind of sticking up over, so that's kind of cool too. All right, now we'd put one of these. So we would say, I think I need, not say, here we go. I think I need another leaf for balance. That's in my opinion, in my humble opinion, as they say. Here, the leaf has to kind of overlap that, I think. So now we got that sort of nature thing going on. So that one, see, they all have different characteristics. Like, see, I kind of like that color the best. This one, that color in the tea. But I don't think I have any more of them. It's kind of like that bumblebee color. I think that kind of matches the best. But I have another Japanese senja tea. So that matches. And that's what I would use it for. All right, so what I wanted to do, just last thing, is I wanted to show you. Oops. That's what we made today. And this is part 9. And today we talked about masking. We talked about making diaper fold, treat pouches. And we've done a lot of 3D things throughout this series. And in one of the sessions, for example, one of the 3D things we made were these treat holders. And I'll go over in the conclusion of this series, I'm going to go over a lot of the 3D things and just show you the different things we made. But I just wanted to mention in the last video, and I may have done this at the beginning, I don't think I did though, is we talked about tone-on-tone stamping. I just want to let you know this in case you missed it, to go back. And I also added some extra bling to cards. So we talked about tone-on-tone stamping. We stamped Misty Moonlight onto the background pieces of Misty Moonlight cardstock, Misty Moonlight ink. And we talked about rip paper technique. So this is some of the stuff we covered in the last video. Rip paper technique again, rip paper technique, and see how this sentiment is matching. And then I talked about how I was inspired by this card from this is our Notes of Cheer project kit from Stampin' Up. It's one of our kits collection. And I said how this kit, there's another tone-on-tone stamping. Okay, I talked about how that was Poppy Parade, by the way. This card inspired my friend Sandra, and then she inspired me to go ahead and make some cards kind of using this technique where you die cut out the pieces, and then you replace them. And then instead of replacing them with the same color, I replaced them with gold. This is one I finished since my last video. I just finished this one this morning. This is one I showed you last video, and then this is one I made. Again, this is brick and mortar embossing folder, and then this one is Tasteful Textiles embossing folder. Okay, now I want to give credit to where I got inspired by the masking in general, or this card inspired me to do some masking like we just did. And this is a card that's not my card, it's a swap card. And I got this card in Maui, and I've been holding it because it's very inspiring. I hope hope I can give him credit. Oh no, the name came out. I'm sorry, whoever's made this card. I lost the name, but I did do it in my video when I did the unboxing. I gave credit to this person, and now I lost their thing. So this is why it's good to put stickers on your bags. But this is, she masked it. She masked it just like we did for this box today. That's what she did in that, except she made a background of the card. And then, of course, you would cover up the butterfly itself and just mask. You would mask the butterfly, and then you color in the background. Okay, so that inspired me. So I always get inspired and show you how I got inspired and what cards inspire me to make other cards. And I hope that's what this series has done for you, inspire you to make other things. All right, well, that's all for today. And, okay, so Stampin' Right, Veronica, hello, Veronica. She said, thank you. Oh, your mom for the lovely gift. You're very welcome. So you got one of my mom's homemade creations, and that's going to be something that I tell her right after this video. So thank you very much, and be pretty. I love that paper. How'd you miss it? Well, you missed it. The reason you miss it, Yvonne, and this is how I miss things too, is because I waited till this paper, you're talking about this paper, right? I waited till it was like on sale because it was going to be a closeout and it was retiring, and I'm like, I got to get that. I think I might have got it before, but I'm not sure. Oops, that's a lot of brightness. It was not supposed to look like that. So there was this product medley, and that's how I got it. I got them originally, and then I hadn't used it, but then when they went on sale, I bought a bunch of refills for it. So that's how I ended up with so much paper that I was able to share. I know, kind of sad we missed it, but I love this paper too, and I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I was able to share it in these kits. So that's all for now. I'm going to be doing in my VIP group a drawing for those of you that got the kits, and you're going to be getting something fantabulistic. You're going to get something fantabulistic. So we'll do that soon. And then I'll come back with the conclusion of this series and kind of show you what we created in the series. And anything else I might have missed, like the box or something, I want to show you. Anything else that we may have missed. All right, that's all for now. This is the Papered Chef. Have a great week.